Hey guys, and welcome to the prop shop again. This time I'm going to be making Junkrats rip tyre. Either way, fortunately the size of this tyre is almost the exact size of this Eva foam tile. Now if you haven't guessed yet, I'm going to be using Eva foam to make it. The diameter of the tyre is almost, in-game is almost exactly what the size of this tile is. So it's going to make my life a whole lot easier in making them, because I'm no longer going to have to segment it. Because I thought this thing was huge, like, 15 foot across, something stupid like that, but turns out really small. So first off, I've marked the centre point. Now to do this, you get a measuring tape, measure across, get around the right depth, or get around the right for the full width. Unfortunately, this is 57 across, which becomes awkward to divide and get in the right spot. So I'm just going to say that it's 56. And I've drawn across, and that is on 28, which is half of 56. And I've drawn a line down there between 2 points, because I measured one there and there. And then I measured the same from the centre there. And then just where the lines cross is your centre. I'm sure there are better ways and compasses and alike to draw circles with, but this one I'm aiming for a 56 centimeter diameter circle, and 58. But just because it's centimeters doesn't mean this technique doesn't work with inches or anything else. But you just get a ruler and just draw lines at 28 out. And then you can just connect the dots as such, and you end up with a circle. Now of course you usually do many more dots than I've done here, but as you can see I'm starting to draw a circle. So I've got to create 2 of these, 1 per side. I've cut the 2 circles for the outsides of the tyre. They're not perfect, as you can see they don't line up exactly, but it doesn't matter that much because the inside's going to be covered and the outside is going to have a tread on it. Now these sections, which I've cut to about 18 centimeters across, are going to be the width of the tyre. Now I'm going to have to bend these a little bit just to give them some detail, or to give them a little bit of curve. Now to bend Eva foam, you've got to use a heat gun. Now I would say when doing this, there is a smoke alarm right there, so if I do this wrong, we're all going to know about it, okay? But with this, you don't need to apply too much heat to make the foam bend out of shape and stay in the shape you want. But when you do it, out of all the tutorials I saw, said that you've got to wait for it to change colour. If you wait for this stuff to change colour, the smoke alarm will go off. It's the same as any other foam, but what I found is it doesn't take anywhere near enough to change the colour of this stuff. So basically here goes, and let's hope for the best. Right, as you can see on that section, it's all, that section's flat as you can see, and that section's curved. Again, just makes it look more like a tyre. So I'm going to continue doing that with the rest of the circles, and then do this. Okay, at this point, I've bent all of that, bent all of these, and done the beveling. I've now glued the full length of the track together, or the outside of the wheel together. Now I'm just going to bend that just to give it a little bit of a curve, because it'll look better with a curve, to be fair. Look more like a tyre at least. And then I'm going to glue it all together. For that I'm going to be using hot glue, and it is just put a bead along there for a short distance, and then stick and then press them together. Now you've got to hold it for some time just to make sure that the glue has actually cooled off, or it just turns all stringy and falls apart. Now it's going to take me quite some time to get through all of this, so when I'm done hopefully I will have a rubber tyre. I've stuck them both together, as you can see. I beaded these together and then did a solid circle around the inside with glue inside the rim. I mean, at the moment you can see these bits where there's clearly a line, and that's where I had to add in a little expansion section. And these are just offcuts from the edges of the mats, and I just made it into a tread, so I now have myself a wheel. Now inside I'm going to add little braces across here, because at the moment it's squeezing in towards the centre and I need it to be more out like that. So what I'm going to do is get 2 flat pieces, put them at 90 degrees, or well, 3 flat pieces, 1 wide and then 2 half the width, then stick them together to make a cross, because it's much harder to squeeze them inwards and deform than it is to just do 1 flat board. Then I'm going to put those little crosses just inside there, and then those should add enough structure just to hold those out lightly. But just to prove a point, it does bounce quite well as well. I've just got to be careful not to destroy my camera. I've done that before. Since last time, since the last picture, I put this in, which is just a square bit of foam. That's going to be where the attachment points are to hold it on the back. Then I've added this, which is a little box containing a retractable dog lead, so that in the event I want to try starting it, I can actually pull on it and it will retract back. So it's a usable prop at this point. Of course, this has stopped it from being centrally balanced like it was before. So now where the lead is going to be all the weight, so it's always going to sit in that position. So I've decided to put the starter, which is by here, in the top of the V. Now this is going to be up on top like that, and then I'm going to have some motor detailing in this section, which I've cut off to a lower level, because that's going to be stood off like that with little bits of gears and stuff inside. And this goes across the back, which covers up the back of the tyre. Then most of what I've got to do now is detailing, like writing and stuff, but the only other thing is the big spikes, which I'm then going to have to do later, and then it's lots and lots of painting. Right, I've done a little more since the last time. I've now got the full pipework going through, and I got this little bits in here that's supposed to look engine-y. I couldn't reproduce it exactly because I don't have the materials, and I'm also not making a real one. But I got these spikes on, which they are just detachable bottom wine glasses that I found random chance in a shop. I just thought, oh, they'll work. And then everything's finished now. On the upside, the reason why I have the dog lead is so I can do this. Which works out, well, for a movable prop, that's pretty good. I still have the position marked on the back for the pillar, so I can just cut holes in that when I need to put the connectors on to attach it to a back, or to attach it to my back. Then that's it, apart from painting. the tyre has now been painted. Now in this case, the tyre itself has been done entirely, including these sections, with a plaque or with a sealer. Fortunately for me, the sealer is black, so it comes out as being the right colour for a tyre. Now on top of that, I have these spikes have been sprayed silver, essentially after I did the black, because the black goes all over, because you can see this section here where the covering for this bit of string was, where it hasn't actually gone on, but that's all getting painted over with yellow anyway. It's also going to be on the back, so shh, don't tell anyone that it's there. But I painted it all, then I masked all of this off with masking tape. There was a lot, and you can see some of the edges there. Well, only just, if you look by there, you can see where I've done this masking wrong, but it's not that bad. And then all the rest of this, well, painted, and it's ready for the actual layer of paint on top. Again, with anything that's going to be metal on the bottom, I use this silver because it's a relatively metallic looking surface, so if anything scratches through, as I do with everything that's metal. And the bit of string on the back, which is here, is what I'm going to use to attach it to me while I'm carrying it around, hopefully. So I should be able to hang out like that. It can take the weight of the tyre hanging off it. This really isn't that heavy, it's about a kilo at the most. And that bit of string is tied to the centre bar going through. My tyres come back from painting. Now all I did here was a yellow undercoat, orange circle in the centre, and then just do the black lines between them just to add definition, and then just do the text and little bits of grey paint to do the detailing in the dirt. Now of course I used, I believe I've heard them called dry brushing techniques for doing the dirt, so you get very little paint on. The motor sections, I've just painted stuff that could look motory from a distance, but if you look up close, it really doesn't stand up to that much detail. Now in the end, this thing's about 2 foot diameter and about 8 inches across here. And the back, which is not painted half as well, is just, I tried for a bit of motor detailing, but hopefully this will be strapped to my back for most of the time, so it's not that important how it looks. I know there's a lot of people who disagree with that, but it really doesn't matter if no one can see it. The upside, I also get the fun of remembering the fact that Junkrats left-handed. But I also get to do this occasionally when it doesn't jam. When it doesn't jam, I've been doing that too much and it's starting to cut up the insides, so if you can walk past a rip tyre and not grab it and go, let it rip, well, I don't know what you're doing, but you most certainly are not setting a rip tyre on people. Anyway, I like it. I know, I'm so glad I'm off camera while hugging it. Anyway, I'll have Junkrat done soon, and see you next video. See ya.